Gunners, welcome to UG Gunners TV. Robert Wils are my names. Match preview Arsenal against Brentford at Brentford Community Stadium. Before we go very far, I would like just to welcome you all back from international break, where we've seen all our players doing the wonders, apart from Brazilians, which really conceded a goal against Argentina. But we believe that all other players performed very well. And here I'm joined up with Big Steve. Welcome to Fans Front. Arsenal against Brentford. We've seen Brentford being a bit of stubborn against Arsenal, whereby when you go on the record, we see that since 2018, Arsenal has met Brentford 6 times and Arsenal has won 4 times, drawing 1, and Brentford also caning Arsenal 1. So this time, the two clubs are meeting on Saturday. How do you see the two managers coming up or fronting up their players against each other?
It's going to be an interesting tie. Of course, we have a big one coming up very early on the day.
Okay.
So I think all the players will be watching City playing Liverpool.
Yes.
So the results actually that will come out of that game, I think will be a big motivational factor coming into the Brentford fixture.
Yeah.
As you've mentioned, Brentford has been a very stubborn team actually against the big side.
Yeah.
Looking at Brentford last season, the two legs, of course, we managed to beat them at their home 3-0.
Yeah.
If you remember the fantastic performances from Fabio Vieira,
yeah,
that wonder goal he scored. Then of course they came to Emirates Stadium and we dropped actually 2 points.
Yeah, 2 points.
2 points.
That costed us a lot.
Exactly, and that was part of one of the reasons as why we failed, of course, to win the league. So coming to this game, of course, the international break, we hope all the players have returned very fit.
Yeah.
Especially those that traveled far from Europe, the South American players.
Yes.
But actually, it's going to be a game of tactics.
Okay.
Brentford actually maintain a very low block against the big sides.
Yeah.
They usually play the back 5. They then pack the midfield. Then they throw, of course, Brian Mbeumo and Wissa,
yes,
the two lads, and they are very dangerous in counter-attacking football.
Okay.
So and Mikel Arteta, of course, you know him. He'll maintain his shape regardless of the team he plays.
Okay.
It is going to be possession-based and progressive football. So we are going to see two managers in Mikel Arteta and Thomas Frank battling out for the tactics. So I think whoever gets his tactics right for the day,
yeah,
and with, of course, coupled with the execution of the chances made the players will get, I think will come up on top.
Okay. Well, you've mentioned about the counter-attacking style of playing for Brentford. How do you see Arsenal really in that match, controlling those two guys, those two wingers in attacking?
Brian Mbeumo and Wissa,
yes,
or Da Silva, if they start up front, these are very quick players.
Yeah.
Actually, most of Brentford goals actually come from those guys and counter-attacking football. Brian Mbeumo has been in brilliant form this season as well. So I think it's going to be interesting how Arsenal handle those two players.
Yeah.
So the defenders and the midfielders actually have to be actually up for this tie, okay, especially if we concede the set pieces.
Oh.
The set pieces, if Arsenal maybe we are getting a corner, I think that we should be having a few bodies, okay, going up front. We should maintain some few bodies actually in midfield or behind,
yes, to
try and counter those two guys.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Of course, we hope Jorginho was a little bit disappointed in the international break, but we hope, of course, he missed the penalty. So we hope, yes, he comes with his head high for this game.
Yeah.
So the midfield of Jorginho, Declan Rice, and Odegaard, I think, is fit. Yeah. It's going to be very key actually, okay, because it's going to be a game full of athleticism.
Okay.
So to counter those two guys, I think Arsenal has to actually leave some bodies behind, okay, when they try and get those set pieces, not to go the whole team as they usually do, and maybe leave 1 or 2 players. I think that's where Brentford will hurt Arsenal.
Okay. Now in this game again, Arsenal is going into this game whereby we've seen our keeper that, David Raya came from Brentford and is on loan, automatically doesn't qualify to play that match. Then Ramsdale's getting back on this match, and remember that Ramsdale all along he has been on the bench. Do you expect him to pull up a good performance against that Brentford?
Exactly. If you are a Ramsdale, then you must grab this opportunity. You must grab this opportunity because...
Should we call it opportunity again? Ramsdale not just grabbing opportunities? According to Arteta's plans.
If you're to go by Arteta's words, when he talked about Arsenal having 2 number 1s, then definitely Aaron Ramsdale has considered this as an opportunity. Because David Raya can't play his parent club. He's on loan from Brentford. So we hope that Aaron Ramsdale grabs the opportunity and puts up brilliant performances on the day. Of course, Brentford also have a keeper they acquired from Freiburg. I think he has been fantastic this season. Mark Flecken, he has been also key to
pulling up a good performance.
Exactly. So, but as you've asked me about Aaron Ramsdale, I hope Aaron Ramsdale actually comes in this game actually with a little bit of enthusiasm and we know him is a very charismatic keeper when it comes to winding up the opponents and all that. So we hope he turns up for this day and he gives Arteta a headache to pick his goalkeeper come maybe midweek in Champions League against Lens.
Okay. Again, still, when you look at the whole squad, we always face a challenge in Arsenal. That is the right back, more especially the left back, whereby we have Zinchenko and Tomiyasu. Now, concerning the playing tactics of Brentford, who do you think was better to stop those counters, Tomiyasu and Zinchenko?
Definitely, earlier on we noted about Brentford this style of play, that counter-attacking football. So definitely, if you look at
how to control them,
if you want to try and stop them, then you must have a patient defender, and that is Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is a little bit patient.
Help to dominate.
Exactly, it will help us actually in defense because he is not an attacking left back or full back for that matter. So I think if anyone will try and stop Mbeumo on that side, then it should be Tomiyasu. Zinchenko maybe can come in later in the game. Maybe if Arsenal is leading and try maybe to calm the situation possession wise, because we know that is his game. He can try and control proceedings. But if you're to ask me whom I would prefer in that side, Tomiyasu has been in brilliant form, and I think Mikel Arteta should continue with him. On the left-hand side.
Where do you see exactly the battle going to be? Is it in the midfield or in defensive areas?
Absolutely, I think it's going to be in midfield because of the style of players we've noted. Once Brentford pick up that ball from defense, the midfielders are quick to release the ball to the wingers and the forwards. So they have 2 lads in their midfield, Christian Nogard and Vitaly Janlet. 2 powerful and 2 workaholics there in midfield. So the junior has to be up for it, and Declan Rice. Those are workaholics in there. Then of course they have the flying fullbacks. Rico Henry, the young Englishman, very fantastic. He has been brilliant for Brentford ever since they signed him. Then also we have Aaron Hickey. Those flying fullbacks. They come and join in midfield. So they overcrowd the midfield and try and release those balls to Wissam, Mbeumo and Da Silva. If that's the front 3 that will start. So I think the battle actually is going to be in midfield. That's where I think Arsenal must focus.
Now the same thing that I think these are good news because we saw the Brazilians, that is Jesus Gabriel, being called, and he played 90 minutes against Argentina. So whereby we expected him is back from the injury, and his addition on the club, to me it makes a big effort or a big improvement, whereby we've had a challenge of Nketiah. Nketiah is not a reliable striker that you may think that he will give you a match after match. So Do you think that Jesus should start or Nketiah should start in that match? Or is it return?
Of late, I think the last 2 games before the international break, Arteta has utilized the services of Leandro Trossard as a false 9, and Trossard has been fantastic actually in that role.
Yes.
But looking, if you need an in and out striker,
yes,
or forward who would try to dominate a game up front, then definitely you need the services of Gabriel Jesus. But it will be unfair to drop Trossard because he had picked up. He has been fantastic actually playing through the middle with the exchanges actually very well with the likes of Martinelli and Saka.
Okay.
But when Jesus comes back, we know Mikel Arteta usually gives him that nod on immediately. So personally, I would still want Gabriel Jesus to start because Gabriel Jesus can hold that play actually.
Okay. And
of course, with his trickery, I think he can try and trouble the powerful defenders of Brentford. Ben Mee and Ethan Pinnock. Yeah. Those are 2 powerful lads there. So I think we shall need the services of Gabriel Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the same thing right now, we are left with only like a month to the transfers of January transfers. As in, there's some information about Arsenal signing players like Douglas Wils and the sign of Vlahovic.
Yeah.
Do you think that those 2 players will add an impact in the club?
Absolutely. Dusan Vlahovic, I think ever since he left Fiorentina, he has not been in good form.
Okay.
I think the close to 2 years he has spent in Juventus have not been so productive. If you look at his numbers, but yes, never mind, he's a very good striker.
Okay.
I think Juventus as a team have had their struggles. Yeah. So I think that's why maybe him as a player, he has struggled as well. Okay. So, but if you ask me whether we should acquire him, I've watched him closely, especially when he was at Fiorentina, and I think he's a very good finisher.
Okay.
So if we are to add him alongside Gabriel Jesus,
yes,
of course we still have news of Ivan Toney also there. Yeah. So we don't know what Mikel Arteta will do, but Dusan Vlahovic, very young, energetic, and a good finish of the ball. So I think it would be a good addition. Then of course Douglas Luiz, he has a fantastic history actually. I think for the last 4 or 5 years, I think he's
admiring him.
Exactly, and he has been injured I think once or twice.
Yes.
So we need a player of that profile,
okay,
especially considering the injury worries of Thomas Partey.
Okay.
So I think those 2 players actually would add something to this current Arsenal squad.
Okay. Now still, when looking at if at all Vlahovic hits the exit. No, it's the entry. Who do you think will hit the exit? Don't you think Nketiah will be out?
Nketiah,
or we can keep both of them?
Nketiah will remain as a subject of conversation actually. I don't know because he just signed a new contract I think the last year.
Yes.
So it's going to be tricky to see whether Arteta will offload Nketiah, given the fact that he's an academy player.
Okay.
But he has divided opinion among Arsenal fans. So wait and see. But of course, if you want to compete in all fronts, yes, then there is nothing wrong with you having 2, 3, 4 strikers. We've seen that with teams that have won trophies actually. If you look at the great sides of Manchester United, they've had 4 powerful strikers. Arsenal of those days, they had the likes of Ian Wright. Then they had the likes of Sylvain Wiltord. Okay. Then of course in came in Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp. Yeah. So if you're to compete for the major honors, yes, then you need actually a couple of strikers up front. So having the 3 of them would not be bad. So you can keep Nketiah as long as he's happy to stay.
Okay. Our viewers, we all request you that to like the video. You can like the video, you can share, comment. Actually, or you're free to join the conversation at any time you want. Then this is UG Gunners TV. Back onto the first 11 of the 2 clubs. Which one will you prefer to start? Okay, just give us the prediction.
I think for Arsenal's case, I think there's no brainer. Right now, we know Aaron Ramsey will start in goal.
Yes.
Ben White missed the last game, but I think he returns.
Okay.
He trained yesterday,
yes,
with the boys. Then of course Tomiyasu, I think will continue at left back.
Okay.
Then Gabriel and Saliba. Thomas Partey is still absent, so Jorginho will still maintain his spot alongside Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Martin Odegaard trained with the team. I hope he's fit to start. If he doesn't, then I would prefer Trossard to play in that role.
Okay.
Then of course the Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, and Gabriel Jesus since he's back.
Yes.
Brentford, of course, the new goalkeeper Mark Flecken starts. Then Ethan Pinnock and Ben Mee will start in central defense. Then Rico Henry and Aaron Hake as the two fullbacks. Then of course the midfield of Christian Nogard, Vitali Jean-Lec, powerful lad there. Da Silva, Brian Mbeumo, and of course Wissa. So that's how we hope the two teams to line up. So it's going to be a serious battle for these two teams.
Okay. So what's your prediction?
I don't think we shall see very many goals in this game. I know it's going to be a very tight game. As I mentioned earlier, I think a team that actually executes the coach's tactics very well may actually come on top.
Okay.
So if Arsenal actually maintains their shape and remain a little bit patient, because if Arsenal says to run with Brentford, I think Brentford have mastered the art of counter-attacking football. So they may hurt Arsenal that way. So I hope Arsenal to remain patient, play their game, and wait for that opportunity to come.
Okay.
So I think with Gabriel Jesus back on the side and Martin Odegaard, I think Arsenal may pick a 2-1 victory.
Okay. Yeah, likewise, because I know the keeper, that's Ramsdale. The only change is Ramsdale and Jesus coming back. Then I expect also 2-1. Yeah. Just join the conversation and enjoy everything. Like the video, share, and always comment. This is UG Gunners TV. Always Arsenal. Thank you.